Dubai is like the entrepreneur of the cities. I've done one live event in Finland with my avatar instead of me going, because I had 2 consecutive events at the same time. Attracting the AI talent to come to the UAE is extremely important to me personally, but also extremely important for Dubai. Time is the scarcest kind of asset, not crypto. You know, time, we need to give you more time to do the things you love doing.
Hello, everybody. I'm Naveen Bharadwaj, your host for this episode of Date with Tech, an amazing podcast. What a pleasure. I'm joined by Dr. Marwan Al Zarouni, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Artificial Intelligence at Dubai's Department of Economy and Tourism. He's a visionary with all things emerging technologies, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, digital assets, quantum, metaverse, you name it. He just doesn't know it. He's actually done a lot of work. Dr. Marwan, welcome to this episode.
Thank you for having me.
Dr. Marwan, your experience is quite all-encompassing. You were the first to actually come up with an OTC desk in the region. You also set up the Dubai Blockchain Center. You've done a lot of work with AI. You've worn so many different hats. Tell us, Dr. Marwan, how do you do all of this? And what's the inspiration or motivation behind this breadth of experience that you have?
First of all, thank you for having me. Second, I think it all comes natural from living in Dubai, and Dubai being very forward looking and always pushing the envelope when it comes to technology adoption. I'm the same. I grew up with technology. I grew up programming when I was a little kid. I also learned electronics, even doing my own boards. I studied in something called the Dubai Science Club, did everything from photography to taxidermy to programming to electronics to you name it, any kind of STEM kind of engineering, programming. And it really created a really good foundation for first principles based knowledge. And that is important to understand how the biology of animals work, how the electronics function, how a computer code, the logic before even the execution, how that works. So all of this created a really good fundamentals for learning any new tech that comes in our way, including digital forensics, which I started in. Cybersecurity is the same way. It also helps that I went to an aviation college, so I learned aeronautics as well as computer science. So having those two together also helps a lot.
What have you not studied should be my question, right?
I'm very curious as well. That helps a lot. So any emerging tech is always, very exciting for me.
So Dubai's ambitious leadership, UAE's leadership, and early exposure to science, technology, innovation, R&D has actually shaped what you have become today. Yeah,
100%. And passion, of course. You have means and then you have the passion. You have to be very passionate about the space as well. And I'm very passionate about the crypto space, as you know, as well as the AI space. And people think that I became CEO of AI because of my role in DT, but I've been in AI for a really long time. Even when I was in the science club as a kid, I was writing, my first code was actually chat, conversational program in Arabic. So I had a really good start on ChatGPT.
Nice. So you created, or you were part of those people that have dabbled with the AI space way before AI became a mainstream thing.
Yeah, 100%. And it was, like I said, my teacher's name was Ahmad Islam, and he was really good in teaching us not to program, but program for purpose.
Yeah.
So if we're writing something, it has to be developing something that we are actually interested about. And we had to put ourselves as the customer as well. So the chatbot I wrote was actually something that I would use, and I would be curious to actually use myself.
Very good. Very good. Speaking of that, and speaking of entrepreneurship and passion, right? You've run businesses. You're quite entrepreneurial yourself. From being that to now driving AI for DT, the part of the Dubai government. What was that mindset change, or what was that one thing that actually triggered or encouraged you to switch from the corporate side of things to the government side of things? And how different is it?
I think for me, I'm very passionate about the Dubai brand itself. I'm very passionate about advocating for Dubai. I've been doing it through different, mechanisms, including the Dubai Blockchain Center, attracting the crypto industry to come here. And I'm very passionate, and always been passionate about AI, and attracting the AI talent to come to the UAE is extremely important to me personally, but also extremely important for the Dubai ethos as well. Having the best talent in Dubai and having the best talent in the UAE is extremely important for our growth as a nation, and it grows horizontally across all sectors as well. So it's important to have the talent in health and health tech, talent in manufacturing and sustainability and logistics. All of these areas, prop tech, any kind of area you think that is going to help in doubling the GDP in the next year, in the next 10 years, as part of Dubai D33, which is the mandate for Dubai economy and tourism, and also for Dubai in general, it's extremely important for us to empower that with the talent that will come from AI. And AI will be, like I said, all encompassing across the whole horizontal space within innovation and within all the sectors that we're targeting as Dubai.
Yeah, absolutely. While I was asking you that question, something actually came to my mind. As a long-time resident of Dubai, I've been here for almost 15 years. I think Dubai is like that successful, ambitious, passionate startup itself, right? Because the ecosystem is so nice, the
And that's
scale is so fast, the interest from the community is so amazing.
Yeah, today I was in a session in the Dubai Majlis, and
Yeah.
somebody was mentioning Dubai is like the entrepreneur of the cities.
Yeah.
All the other cities are, mature businesses. They got comfortable, the top
Yeah.
3 cities in the world, for example. But Dubai is still growing and pushing the envelope and thinking always like the entrepreneur. So they have the entrepreneur mentality. So
Yeah.
having that entrepreneur mentality on the citywide level is extremely important, to have that hunger to always push the envelope, to always be hungry for growth.
I think that's what makes it relatively easy and appealing for people like you to switch from being entrepreneurs to now being government entrepreneurs. Government
100%.
here functions like a startup, functions like a business, and every day is a new challenge, every day is a new opportunity.
Yes, and the Dubai Inc. kind
Yeah.
of brand is very strong in the world, not only for living in Dubai, but now much more so for visiting and then actually deciding to move to Dubai. So work in Dubai brand is extremely strong right
The
now.
benchmark is there when it comes to Dubai. Now, Dubai is often called as, the city of tomorrow, right? Dubai has also been creating the future, fast forwarding or accelerating the future today, right? Dubai economy and tourism, of course, plays a massive role in that. The brand Dubai and making sure that the brand Dubai shines for all the right reasons globally is something that DET drives with the leadership here. But when it comes to artificial intelligence and when it comes to emerging technologies, how do you infuse that in everything that DET does and making sure that Dubai's vision, be it D33 or everything else that the leadership has set forth, are actually successful and powered by future technology?
There are two things here. One is making sure that the user experience in Dubai remains at the utmost, seamless as possible, using AI for the betterment of the user experience for anybody who moves to Dubai. And once you are Dubai, once you are working in Dubai, making sure that AI is actually augmenting your work, removing all the brain dead tasks that you have, removing all the routines, making sure that your work is streamlined, that your creativity is engaged. You as an employee is always engaged. Your production is actually scaled. Your knowledge is across all breadth and width of different disciplines, that you have access to everything in a very quick way. And also there are no roadblocks that will stop you from continuing your work or achieving your goals. So all of these things are extremely important. And AI is the tool that will enable a lot of these things to happen.
And are there any specific priority initiatives that you're currently driving at DET that you can shed some light on?
Of course, one of them, of course, as part of the D33 is health and health 2.0, longevity, but also attached to longevity is health span. So making sure you not only live longer, but you live longer in a healthy way and in a happy way, both mentally, physically, making sure that we have initiatives that are citywide. Things like 30-30, which was still part of, and we're at the end. And a couple of days ago on the weekend, I ran 10 kilometers, but not only me, there
The
were
Dubai
millions
Run.
the Dubai Run. Millions of people were running in the main road in Dubai, which is the Sheikh Zayed Road, and including kids, including elderly people, including the all segments of society, all together, shoulder to shoulder, in a very safe environment, non-competitive, making sure that this longevity and taking care of yourselves and each other is extremely important, both on the physical and the mental side.
Quality of life and how AI can help enhance that.
100%.
Truly to
Giving you also back time. Time
Right.
is the scarcest kind of asset, not crypto. Time, we need to give you more time to do the
Yeah.
things you love doing, and also enhance your, capability as a person creatively. You can do creative endeavors. You can play a new sport, pick up a new skill. All the stuff. Having time back is extremely important. Even strengthening the relationship between you and your family. Family ties are extremely important, and the family values are extremely at the core of what we do in Dubai. In a lot of countries, the daily grind takes
Mhm.
away from time away from your family, and for us in Dubai, we want to have a really good kind of day-to-day life where you wake up in the morning energized, you do your routine, finish your work, come back home, have time to spend with your family, have quality time, be involved in your kids' activities.
Mhm.
And that's encouraged not only in the government, but also in the private sector. It is a Dubai ethos thing that you work hard, you learn, you improve yourselves all the time, but also you have quality family time as well.
Helping achieve that work-life balance that people keep talking about, rather than being worried about AI or broadly speaking, what emerging technology can do to us, actually embracing it wholeheartedly because it's going to do great things. Quality of life, quality of time spent with family, opportunity to do, as you said, pick up new hobbies, travel to different places, or basically do things that you could not do because you didn't have the time. You were burning out. Yeah.
100%. And waking up every day looking forward to tomorrow and having goals that you can actually achieve because there's no other things that are taking your time. For example, worrying about politics, worrying about
Yeah.
conflict in work or outside of the work or in the family and that kind of stuff. Having this kind of mentality of just waking up, looking, even when you go to sleep, looking forward to tomorrow is
Mm.
extremely important. That kind of mentality is at the core of what we do in Dubai.
I think a few years ago that might have sounded very utopian, but now it's actually a reality. You can see it's measurable. It's quantified how much time one can get back, right? Now, Dr. Marwan, Dubai has between 3 to 4 million residents, tourists. I think tens of millions of tourists keep coming here. People from different backgrounds, different races, different levels of technology awareness, exposure, and understanding, right? So when it comes to implementation of AI at scale, sure that you face a few challenges and obstacles, right? So what are some of those common challenges, and how do you all go around them and make sure that it doesn't impact the actual implementation?
So there's a lot, and I think worldwide problem is not AI usage by the individuals, but the use in the enterprise. So one of the initiatives we first created as when we first launched something called the DCAI, the Center of Artificial Intelligence, is having a mandate of every government department having a CEO of AI. That way you have this kind of a granular approach towards AI, having somebody in every government department who is responsible about AI implementation. So having ownership and also execution power and also all the things that are related to that and buy-in from the leadership, all of these things streamline that kind of adoption, and we've seen a lot of results coming out of that kind of initiative,
Mm.
and that being replicated even in the federal level and also worldwide as well. Having ownership of projects within the government departments, having measurable ROI, measurable KPIs, measurable things that are goals of implementation of AI within those government departments is extremely important. But the most important thing is ownership. Having a CEO of AI is extremely important. And one of the examples, which is in Dubai economy and tourism, but there's 50 other people like me in the government that are actually doing that in their respective departments and also owning that kind of responsibility.
So UAE was the first country in the world to announce a minister of AI. And I think Dubai is the first city in the world to announce CEOs or chief AI officers
Mhm.
across all the different government departments, not just to show its commitment to embracing AI, but to show that there are people that will be entrusted with the necessary support and decision-making
And
authority to make
accountable.
AI happen
Yeah.
and held accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And you were one of the first few that were handpicked for
Yes.
that job. So
Yes.
that's what an honor. Congratulations
Thank you.
on
I appreciate that. I'm honored for that. But having the AI mandate in one department is enough, as a mandate. But having it across different business units, especially Dubai Economy and Tourism, is a huge organization and has its own silos and ITs
Mm.
and things like that. So you have to advocate for AI use case in every government sector and every business unit with every manager, whether it is a sector or a section or a department or a legal department, and the policies and all of this stuff is a huge undertaking. And I don't, envy anybody in that position. but you really have your hands full with that kind of role.
Dr. Marwan, I want to talk to you about so many other things like data privacy, cybersecurity, blockchain, quantum, but perhaps we reserve that for our next episode. I just have one question before we conclude. Might sound cliche, but will we see an AI version of Dr. Marwan sometime soon? You think that's a reality and
It's
machines
already
can
there.
do a part of your job?
So it's already there. I've since the early days of LLMs, I had my own AI domain. I have, of course, Marwan.com, but I had also Marwan.ai, which was voice only. And in 2026, it will be voice and video as well. So it will
Wow.
be a full avatar that you can talk to in chat or in voice anytime you want. So starting from 2026.
And you'll have the same knowledge or relatively similar knowledge as Dr. Marwan, and I can do this podcast with
maybe.
AI Marwan.
So I've done one podcast with my AI as well, and I've done one live event in Finland with my avatar instead of me going, because I had 2 consecutive events at the same time. So that was the use case where I had to be physically somewhere and virtually somewhere else. And it even took questions and answers.
Dr. Marwan, for walking the talk, for leading innovation, for driving implementation of AI and all those other emerging technologies, and being one of those early adopters in Dubai and in the region. Hats off to you, and thank you for joining this episode of Date with Tech.
Thank you for having me, and it's always a pleasure.